Hello, everybody. It's Christy Birchfield, and today we are looking at our final day in the book of Galatians. We're looking at chapter 6 of Galatians, verses 11 through 18. And these are kind of significant verses because it starts out in verse 11, and Paul actually writes, "See with what big letters I'm writing this with my own hand." We know that Paul had vision problems, and so he was probably using somebody to transcribe the letters that he's been writing, but he wanted to finish this letter off personally. He felt so strongly about everything that he's been saying that he wanted to make sure that people understood this really was him that was writing it, not anybody else trying to take credit for anything. He was the one making this point. And he basically goes back and in these 8 verses kind of summarizes the things. And he, in verse 14, makes this profound statement. He says, "May I never boast except in the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ, through which the world has been crucified to me and I to the world." When we talk about being distracted, this really is the culmination of everything. This is the point. Christ. Christ is the focal point for everything we do. If we stay focused on Christ, we won't be distracted by anything else in the world. We will be totally laser focused in on everything that God has for us through Christ. But that only happens if we have crucified everything else in the world and that we are truly living just for Christ and allowing Christ to live in and through us. Paul talked about this throughout chapter 1, 2, 3, all the way through about how the importance of having Christ in you allows you to live the life that God demands. That fruit of the Spirit, we can't work those ourselves from chapter 5. God works that through living through us. We want to live a life without distractions. We live a life centered and focused on Christ. As we conclude this series, I hope you've enjoyed the book of Galatians, but make sure that if you take nothing else away from this, the reminder here is that I'm nothing. I can't boast about anything, and neither can you. There is nothing that you have done that is worth boasting about or gives us status or power or anything. Anything we can boast on is truly just Jesus himself and him working in and through us. Make our lives about boasting in Jesus and focusing on Christ and keeping everything else dead. That is living a life without distractions. I hope you've enjoyed. If you've missed any of this series, there is a link to the playlist in the description below. Make sure you go back and check it out. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback. Anything that you've really enjoyed about this series, or maybe what touched you and some things that you might want to be doing differently as a result. So I will see you tomorrow and we will start a brand new series. Thanks. Have a great day.